just can't stop now. No, trying to find a way out. Hey, feels like they won't let me move, let me breathe, let me leave, just like a maze, like a maze.
Yo, PolyRob, what up?
Yo, welcome to another episode of the PolyRob podcast. I'm your counselor, PolyRob. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, happy new decade. It's 2020. We live, you know what I'm saying? We live. I hope everybody feel good about what's to come. I hope everybody understands, what happened in the previous year. You can move forward from. You know what I mean? And, we here, man, 2020. The PolyRob podcast is officially in the new decade. Pretty good. Make sure you subscribe to all podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on YouTube, Spreaker. We're on Google Podcasts. Everywhere where you listen to podcasts, make sure you subscribe to the PolyRob podcast on there. And we've got a couple of other ones that other platforms that's coming pretty soon. I heard Pandora is now opening up their floodgates for podcasts to be on Pandora now. You know what I'm saying? Which is going to be dope. And I'm going to try my best to make sure we get on Pandora as well. Because it's just nothing but growth and, making things happen. You know what I mean? I don't know how you guys spent your New Year's, so I'll tell you a little bit about how I spent my New Year's before we get into the topic of the day. Well, it was fairly easy. Earlier in the day, New Year's Eve, I was spending it with my boys. We was just, sitting back, letting them play video games, let them have a good time. I was, making beats, mixing records, the same old thing. I kind of keep my routine roughly the same. I don't want to do too much, and I just try to keep it easy. Everybody was calling me, asking me what a turn up was, where we're gonna turn up at, stuff like that. But I kind of just wanted to tranquilize for a minute and just, be at ease, think about what's to come, transfer some files. That's one thing I definitely did, was organizing the files, organizing sessions, organizing folders, backing up hard drives. I did a lot of that, before the New Year's hit, just to, like I said, be prepared for what's to come. Then went over a friend's house and, played some card games. Played Phase 10, which was my first time playing it. And I think I did pretty good for the first time. You know what I'm saying? I won like 2 games or something like that. But I don't win the overall game. So, but it was pretty good. It was fun. You know what I'm saying? It's a good food. You know what I mean? Just relaxed. And then, when 12 o'clock came, of course, did the countdown and, went back to the studio. I'm ready to get back to it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here now. And, we got some new updates, got some new music updates, which I'm excited about. We're working on an EP. I believe this is our first Local Astronauts EP that we're releasing off of the Local Astronauts imprint. It's with singer-songwriter Washay. And it's like a Washay and Company type of thing, because he does hooks, he writes for people, and he's an excellent singer. So we're putting together an EP so you can hear some of the music that he's put together with some dope artists, you know what I mean? So look out for that. We're also working on the EP with TF. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who TF is. If you don't, look him up. His Instagram is I am TF. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go check him out. And we got an EP coming with him, which is crazy fire. So those 2 EPs are going to top our list for top of the year to gear up to just get some shit going. You know what I'm saying? So look them 2 artists up. Washay, Washey, Washay, and TF. Just T and F. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and check them out. And then I definitely want to talk about my biggest takeaway from 2019. Biggest takeaway as in lesson or experience or whatever. So my biggest takeaway from 2019 was I really got a chance to understand how important my voice and the content that comes from local astronauts is, to fans, to people, to colleagues, to business associates. I really got a chance to understand how important that is, to people. You know what I mean? Like, we shift culture. Like, me and my business partner, by Drew, like, we really do some, game changing shit. You know what I'm saying? We're innovative. We don't do the norm. We try to, do something fresh and dope every chance we get. And, people look out for it. We put some excellent events on, from Higher LA to Pocket Tacos. Stop asking us about bringing back Pocket Tacos. We're not doing it. To Dope Records, you know what I'm saying? Working with, artists like Fat Meech, TF, Sonny, Conway, Westside Gun, Planet Asia, to Jay Worthy, to, everybody. We don't work, on the Banging on Wax new project that's coming out soon. We just worked on a lot of dope music and just try to do, different shit. You know what I mean? And I realized that people they tune in. You know what I'm saying? Even my podcast, you know what I'm saying? The Overrated Truth podcast, which Badru is a part of. Bad has his new podcast coming out that y'all definitely need to tune into. It's called the Brand Daddy Podcast. Yo, listen, y'all need to tune into the Brand Daddy Podcast for real. You know what I'm saying? Because the man's just his brain and his knowledge and his experience is far beyond what, I've grown to even think of, and it's just getting bigger. It's just more happening. You know what I mean? So tune into that. The PolyRob Podcast, of course, Pure Ignorance, me dropping a beat a day, on YouTube, on Instagram, building up my beat website, events that we've done at Grand Park, Los Globos. We just did a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? We took care of a lot of dope stuff, and we're thankful that y'all are tuning in, and we're gonna continue to keep this thing rolling and keep this thing popping. You know what I'm saying? So to get into, my topic of today, I actually got this idea, of course from New Year's, because, everybody has their New Year's resolution. You know what I'm saying? First question they ask is, what is your New Year's resolution? What are the things you want to change? What are the things you want to keep doing? What are the things that you feel like you need to get yourself over the hump? The hump as in whatever is keeping you from growing to your best potential. Or the hump as in getting the opportunity to be your best self. You know what I mean? They ask what's your resolution all the time. And I thought about it. I'm like, yo, first off, I'm a producer. So asking me what's my New Year's resolution, on average, you're going to get, workload. I'm going to say workload. I'm going to say getting right back to work, doing new creative shit and making things happen. But then I started to really, really think about it. I'm like, yo, creatives, artists, especially artists, like, what should artists be doing to bring in the new year? Like, what New Year's resolutions do artists need to have to bring in the new year? So I started thinking about that. I'm like, you know what? There is definitely a couple of things that I feel like every artist should do. And first off, let's just not say every artist. I want to say struggling artists. And I'll explain that. So the topic of today is how a struggling artist should bring in the new year. Again, how a struggling artist should bring in the new year. That's what our topic is for today. So first things first, let's talk about struggling artists. So I want y'all to fully understand what I mean by struggling artists, because when you hear struggling, the first thing you think of is they can't do something, or they're not doing something, or shit is just falling apart, whatever. Which there is an element of that. That is true. But in my context of me saying a struggling artist, there are probably one or two things that you're not doing that's stopping your career progress from going to that next level. To see some new results. That's what I mean by struggling artists. Being able to see a new result that you haven't seen before. New progress, new opportunities, new growth. You haven't seen that yet. You've been releasing some music and getting the same results. You've been moving in this manner or doing this, and you've been getting the same results. You have not been getting the chance to get new results from the things that you've been doing. So that's what I mean when I say struggling artists, because it's hard to try to get, some new opportunities and new things going when you're doing the same shit. So I want to talk about some things that I've set myself to do to see new results, see new things happen. And, I've watched different artists apply some of these same, tools. And I've watched artists, do certain different regimens, and it worked out for them. So I want to tell that to y'all because I feel like artists need that. And if you're an artist yourself, thank you for tuning in, tap in. If you're not an artist, but you know artists, tell them to tune into this podcast, or just give them the game yourself. If you heard it and you feel like you understand it, just tell them. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's necessary. You know what I mean? So let's go down the line, because we don't have much time. I still got gumbo and stuff like that to get. It's New Year's Day, so I got gumbo to get. I'm finna go around and try to grab at least 5 bowls of gumbo. That's gonna make the one good bowl for me. So number one. Find or make your music environment. Let me say it again. Number one, find or make your music environment. Let me explain. We all go to studios. We all, pay our studio time, go to studios, make music, make records, try to record a song within 2 hours, book an 8-hour session, try to get as much done, try to set our ambiance. It's the studio lifestyle. When you're an artist and you're trying to get some music done, you're figuring out the best way to go to a studio and make some magic happen. Whether it's a home studio, whether it's a studio with a 128 track mixing board with a award-winning engineer, whatever the case may be. But your music environment should consist of a couple of things. It should consist of, first off, comfortability. Being comfortable. Not just there's a soft couch and you're comfortable. No, I'm talking about, how do you want to set the mood of your environment when you're doing music? Are you somebody who likes a lot of people with some smoke and some drink? Are you somebody who likes to be by themselves? How do you want your engineer to be? Finding the right engineer for you. Not that can just do the job, but that understands your process of being able to, lay vocals, sit back, listen to them, come back to it, record. Understanding your workflow. There's engineers that can take care of the job by adding effects, adding what you need, recording, stop, play. But then there's other engineers that actually work along with your workflow, not theirs, your workflow. If you need to punch in every 2, you need to punch in every 4. Or if you need to, give me some time, play the beat on loop, be in the area, but be a little bit away from me, and let me write and do my thing. And when I need you, I could just call you. You could come right back in and we can get to it. You know what I mean? Then other elements are part of your music environment, like, because paying for studio time doesn't always equate to you having the best environment to do the best music. Just because you pay for a high quality studio doesn't mean you're gonna have the right space and the right ambiance to be able to make a great record. Some of the best records were made in some of the most rugged places, but because the right people and the right elements were there, they created a great music environment to create great music. For me, in the studio, let's just talk about me, making records. I have my own studio now, which is a good thing, you know what I'm saying? But let me talk about when I didn't have my own studio and I had to go to a studio. What I would do is, if this is a studio that I'm comfortable with, I would say, can we work something out to where I'll pay you an advanced amount of money and then you give me an advanced amount of hours, so then I can come in, create my environment of how I want to do my thing and be able to push out this project the right way. You can do that for some of these studios, especially with an engineer you feel comfortable with. You'd be like, if they charge $30 or $45 an hour or $50 an hour or whatever the case may be, ask them like, can I just come in 1 month and just pay like a good lump sum of money? You just give me a certain amount of hours and let me get off. Or developing a great relationship with the actual engineer. You know what I'm saying? Y'all may work out a percentage that he gets off of your record, or you might develop something to where he's a producer as well, so he's demoing records for people. So you would help him out, help him write, help him songwrite, do whatever. But to be able to get the time that you want in your element to do what you need to do. Because it's all about creating the right music environment to make some great shit. And then also, you might try investing in your own studio equipment. So you can be able to create your own environment. I don't care if it's in your living room or in your bedroom. When you can create the right environment, have the right candles, have the right people come through, you can spend countless amounts of hours building and songwriting and vibing with people. All of that stuff leads to you creating a good record. Sometimes, some people perform with their backs against the wall. Oh, I only got 3 hours, let me just bang all this stuff out. Some people don't. Some people need more time. So you might want to invest in your own home studio, or you might want to negotiate something with a particular studio or engineer or producer who does engineer, and let them help you create a good environment for you to constantly come back and create good music. With me having a studio, you don't know how many times I hear artists like, man, I just heard it yesterday. Man, I was going to the studio, man, this one engineer, producer, he was cool, you know what I'm saying? He had some good stuff, but man, he be bullshitting. He be BSing. So, man, I had to go somewhere else. And that's because that artist needed a certain type of environment and a certain type of workflow that engineer couldn't provide him, or that studio couldn't provide him. And it's hard to make great records like that. And it's hard to even stay motivated to be able to want to continue to create when you don't have the right people around you to be able to get this sound the way you want it, to get this vibe the way you want it. One of the first things I ask my clients when they come in is like, how you want the lights, B? What you want playing on the TV? You want to fire up weed, or you want to burn incense? I don't care. Whatever it's going to take for you to go in that booth and do the best that you can, that's what it is. Find or make your music environment. That is very key to you being able to continue to push out the music that you want. Next on the list, And this is one thing that, I feel like artists should definitely take full interest in, because it really sets themselves aside from the other artists who tend to be a little bit more lazy or just impulsive. They'll just do things off of impulse. Set deadlines and release dates. Let me say it again. Set deadlines and release dates. Now, I know it's easy to take in, but for some people it's hard to do. It's hard to do. When you're working, first off, work towards something. If you're working on records, if you're releasing a single, then work towards releasing a single. If you're working on an album, work towards releasing an album. You're working on an EP, work towards releasing an EP. But have some type of release date or some type of deadline for some of this music. You want to set yourself aside from just being something that you just do. If you're invested in it, especially if you're financially invested into working on music, show your career the respect it deserves, and give yourself some deadlines on when you should finish records and projects, and give yourself some release dates on when you want to release some music or some projects. Trust me, I have failed at this task as well. A lot of the stuff that I do, not gonna lie, especially music, very impulsive. My impulse will be like, you know what? Put this shit out tomorrow. Let's go. But this is what happens when you do that. This is the disservice that you serve yourself when you do that. When you just throw stuff out on impulse, you forget about what else is the world on. What else is the world doing? What type of vibe are they on? Now, I'm not saying do things that they would want at the time. But what I'm saying is, when you find out the right pocket when to release your music, that's when you help your music and your streams and your sales and your awareness of the project. You actually help it by putting it in a pocket where things can be relative. Or just giving yourself enough time to say, okay, I got 6 months until this project release. Let me do as much as I possibly can on the promotions end, on the post-production end, on any avenue. Let me try to make a solid, complete project, and let me gear up the best possible promotion that I can for my money and for my creativity before that release date comes out. Before my project is available to be listened to or streamed or bought, let me put together the best plan possible. I failed at that a couple of times. And the times where I got my deadlines and my release dates put together, those records did well and are still doing well. The timing was everything. And for artists and creatives, we forget, because we're in this world where everything is free flowing, everything is so vibey, and we just like, oh man, we just gonna go with the flow. We forget that there is an element of structure that is needed in order to successfully do numbers. Let's not forget that. There is a level of professionalism that still needs to occur in order for you to be successful at doing whatever it is you're doing in this music industry. Don't forget that. The ones who find the balance between the free-flowing and standing firm on the other professional elements, those are the ones who win. Those are the ones who win. Case in point, one of my good guys, that I've just met actually 2019. Lord Flea. Now, Lord Flea is a rapper from Queens. And he releases an EP every 2 or 3 months. He gives you a deadline, a release date. He has a deadline of when he's finishing the projects, and he gives a release date to his fans on when he's releasing it. Every 2-3 months, you know it's coming. You know it's coming. And he is doing numbers. Look him up, Lord Flea. He does numbers because he's making sure that he gets his project done at the right time, and he releases it when he needs to at the right time. And keep in mind, like, we're in the world where distribution is something that can be done by anybody. But let's not forget, when you upload things to iTunes, Spotify, you know what I mean? Those platforms, it's not guaranteed that you're going to be able to release it in 3 days or in 2 days. You got to get that stuff time to upload. Especially in high valued release date areas. If there's a Tuesday or if there's a particular week or a particular month where people really release projects that are not priority, they're going to give you an extra couple of days for you to wait before they upload your stuff. So the CD babies and the distro kids and the TuneCores, yeah, you have access to upload your music, but if you don't give yourself the proper deadline to finish your project and a proper release date and make sure there's a spread amount of time for all of that stuff to be up, especially if you're doing pre-orders, you want people to pre-order your project, but you're not giving yourself no release dates and deadlines, you're going to be forced to get back on social media and say, hey man, sorry for technical difficulties, but it wasn't uploaded to all the stores. So now go to Google Play to listen to it for right now, but hopefully it'll be on iTunes in the next couple of days. You don't want that. The label's not doing that. The indie label's not doing that. They taking care of business. They taking care of business. They know when they got to finish stuff. They know when they got to clear records. Let's not get into that. Let's not get into clearing records. Let's not get into this artist didn't finish his feature within your deadline. Let's not get to that. That's a whole nother ball game that y'all might not be ready. Y'all might not be ready for if y'all can't get y'all release dates and deadlines in order. Because you can have a whole project done, but you're waiting for that one feature that can take everything over the top. And guess what? You didn't have a deadline, so you just let that thing linger. You let that whole situation linger, and now he sends you the verse when your project already out. Or you got to push it back because you didn't even give yourself time to, you know, to get the verse in or none of that. You just want to press the button as soon as you got it. Get it together, artists. Get it together. Including me. I got to make sure I got release dates for everything. I definitely got my deadlines, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Big thing. Next. And this is not for the people who want to feel like they want to shelter themselves from others. Number 3, engage in your fans more, man. Engage in your fans more. Not your homies. Not just the people that you know that follow you on your social media. Fans. People who can quote your lyrics. People who add numbers to your streams. People who buy your music. Fans. Not your cousin. Not your mom. Because they love you by default, so they love your music by default. And if they don't love your music by default, you must be terrible. But that's not neither here nor there. I'm talking about fans, engaging your fans more. I use my social media to talk to my fans, talk to people who enjoy the podcast, talk to people who enjoy me making beats every day. Not just the rappers, the fans. They'd be like, yo, I got a couple of, producers out there in Germany that's like, man, I love what you're doing, man. I support it. I rock with you. Hey, man, hit me in the DM, man. Let's link up. Let me see what's on your mind. What can I do more, or what do you feel like you need to see from me? I'm talking to the fans, yo. When I'm out in the street, I got my PolyRob podcast little flyers where one side is the cover of the podcast, the other side you can actually scan the QVC code from your camera phone and you can go directly to the podcast via Spotify. Go listen to the podcast. And when I'm at Starbucks making beats or doing business or whatever, if I see somebody that look like they rock with the podcast, I hand them one. And I've been doing that for a long time, since I did my podcast. And now I got people that walk up to me, yo, man, your podcast is dope, man. I love the episode 31 or I love episode 17. And I'm like, yo, what you like about it? Let's talk about it. What's up? I literally had a conversation with somebody over some tea, and we talking about podcasts and things that he felt like, you know what I'm saying, needed to be discussed. And I'm like, yo, those are great episodes and ideas. And I shouted them out on a couple of those episodes. The music. Got people that be tuning into the music. Yo, Rob, this beat that you did was fire. This record that you did was fire. Yo, I appreciate that, man. Yo, watch what I do with this one. You know what I'm saying? Engaging your fans, because those are the most important people to your career. Hands down. Producer, singer, rapper, country music, I don't care. Fans is your lifeline. You engaging your fans, you win. You engage in everybody else that's your quote-unquote friend, quote-unquote rap buddy, you're going to lose. It be cats out here that's doing records so they can play other rappers the records. I don't care about that. Play it for the fans. Play it for the fans. If you're trying to figure out why you're not moving up, it's because you don't have no fans, B. You don't have no stories to tell. When you in the interviews, it be so crazy. I just thought about this. It's so crazy. Every time I watch an interview, because I like watching interviews from indie artists, I like watching interviews from all different type of artists. And then sometimes you get like these indie artists or cats that's on the come up, and they don't even have no stories about their fans. It'd be like little generic stuff like, oh yeah, this one girl, she was a fan of me, man. You know what I'm saying? She tried to slide in my DMs and try to, she tried to smash. Nah, shut up. Shut up. What's up with a real fan story? What's up with them long DM text messages of how you inspired them to do something great? Tune into your fans, B. Tune into your fans. Repost they stuff, what they on. Show them some love so they can show you love back and they can tell the world how great you are. If you ain't got no, hey, I'm tired of people saying, all these haters be hating on me. I don't care. If you ain't got no fans in 2020, you not winning, B. You not winning if you ain't got no fans. Get your fan game up. Walk in them labels and be like, my fan base is this. We don't care about them streams, yo. Where the fans at? You can have 5 million streams. If you ain't got no fans, if it's no comments, no real deal comments, no real deal fanship, when you log on your live and it's not real fans tuning in, hey man, labels could break down them numbers. Oh, you paid a company to put your music on a Spotify playlist? I mean, you ain't got no real fans. Watch out. Let me go get this other dude over here that got 2,000 dedicated fans. Let me give him some money. Let me give him some money. Get your fan game up. Engage in your fans. I don't care if you only have one fan in this world. Engage in that person. Other people watch that. Other people watch how you engage with other fans. And it just starts trickling off into having more fans. Fanship. It's a big thing. Last but not least, before I get out of here, because I got gumbo to eat. And any fans that's listening, yo, you got some good gumbo? Slide in my DMs, man. I want to try it. I'm going to break my diet for some gumbo. I want to try it. Last one. And this is a big one. I feel like this is a big one. Well for me. Y'all might not, but I feel like this is a big one. Last one. Artists, do not treat your music as a hobby. Do not treat your music as a hobby. You want to take it serious, treat it as such. I'm not talking about the ones who just jump in and jump out because they feel like they can. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking to the person right now that's listening that is trying to end all, be all the way in. I'm talking about the one that is putting every last dollar, every last hour, and every last inch of soul into becoming one of the greatest artists of all time. Do not treat your music as a hobby. Your music is your life. It's your number one baby. So everything you should do, you should treat it as such. All seriousness. Go all the way in. No, your 9 to 5 is not more important because it pays your bills. It's there to pay your bills so you can do what you love, which is your music. It's equivalent to a child. Your 9 to 5 is not more important than your child. Even though it gives you money for your child, it's not more important than your child. Your child is more important. So you use the job to take care of your child. Same thing with music. Music is the most important. So you use the job and you use the networking and you use the relationships to be able to fuel that. Trust me, when you put your effort in the best ways you can, music has this one great thing that it always seems to do at some point in time. Give you back the glory that you put into it. It gives it back to you. Can't say how it'll give back to you. Can't say when, can't say how, can't say what. I just know it'll give back to you in the best way possible. Don't treat it as something on the side. Oh man, I just do this on the side, you know what I'm saying? Man, you putting money up, you putting time up. Don't treat it, be for real. Be for real at it. If you writing these lines and you creating this music, be for real. Because someone that's watching you, someone that might want to work with you is watching that. They watching how serious you take this music. They watching how serious you take these opportunities and try to make something out of it. They watching. People watching. People with money, people with opportunities to help you get to the next level, people who want to work with you, people who want to just see you win. They are watching, and they're watching how serious and how determined you are to make these things happen. And once they figure out, it's a combination between them figuring out how to help you and also figuring out that you're the one that you can be invested in. That's when everything turns over. That's when it's on. That's when it's on. So I need y'all to dig deep inside and just tell yourself, I am an artist in real time. I am an artist in real time. For this New Year's, be an artist in real time. Don't write lyrics on your spare time. Write lyrics on the time that you know you need to get it done. You know you need to write lyrics today. Write lyrics every day. Make songs, make hooks every day. Not like, oh, on Thursday I got some spare time. I'm off of work on Thursday. I'm gonna write a song. No. While you at work, scribble on your notepad. You got a break time, go. I remember I used to be at Fry's Electronics. I used to be in the backstop, writing hooks, writing verses, going up. So as soon as I got off work, I recorded the hook. Who need this record? What we on? It's not a hobby. It's your life. It's something that will eventually take care of you and your family for the rest of their lives and the rest of your life. It's an opportunity. Treat it as such. I appreciate y'all for listening. This is the PolyRob Podcast. Make sure y'all subscribe on all the podcast platforms. Apple Music, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, YouTube, Google Podcasts, every podcast platform. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave me comments. You can slide in my DMs or you can leave me comments on all the platforms, SoundCloud as well. Just leave me comments. I'll respond back. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. I do drop beats every single day. Subscribe to the Local Astronauts YouTube. This whole podcast and this whole platform is powered by Local Astronauts. This is what we do. We creatives and we like to shift culture. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure that y'all have a great new year and stay in touch with us. And we definitely gonna stay in touch with you. All right? Peace.